back to the podcast, episode 41. What's up, people? How y'all doing? We back in the house. It's your boy, International Walt.
It's your co-hostess with the mostest, your girl Tosh.
That's a new thing?
That means I'm zen.
Okay. You need that?
I'm manifesting peace.
Okay. Okay. I like that. It's your boy, International Walt's the co-hostess with the mostest. And channeling zen. So there we go. What's up? We first off, thank you for the live last week. We appreciate that. Keep sharing, keep liking. The website, another day or two, it'll be fully up and running and all ready to go for merch. You can check out the podcast there. You can also check out the podcast on Spotify, YouTube. It's on the Gram. It's on Breaker. It's on Google Podcasts. Check it out at all those places. So we fine-tuning everything, but within a day or two, probably after this weekend, starting Monday, everything going to be loaded everywhere, real easy to find. Merch going to be available. The colors that we want, everything that we want going to be there. So everything that y'all want should be there. So look into that. Appreciate
You're very
that.
demonstrative in that segment.
Just appreciate that, and I appreciate y'all. So keep liking, sharing, commenting, engaging with us, because we're gonna keep engaging with y'all. So thank y'all. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm well.
No. How are you?
I'm doing good. I am channeling peace. Doctor in the house. Dr. IW in the house. I'm doing well.
Where we at mentally?
Mentally, I am, I'm an 8.
An 8.
I'm an 8.
Elaborate. Get into it. Why are you an 8?
Work is...
I ain't talking about work. I'm talking about work.
I thought you meant the breakdown. I'm an 8 because while things aren't perfect, who is, what is, except God, he's the only thing that's perfect. I am claiming peace. I am claiming happiness. I am claiming joy. And, I know things could be worse. Sometimes I hate when people say that, like, oh, you shouldn't feel this way because things will be worse. That doesn't negate the fact that things may not be good for somebody else just because things could be worse or are worse for other people. Mm-hmm. But despite any stress, drama, negativity, I'm like Mortal Kombat they block stuff. That's like when they fight.
You shouldn't reference shit that you don't know though.
But I was right.
You was right.
Yeah, like Mortal Kombat, I'm blocking it all out, and I am internalizing peace. So I'm an 8.
Cool. What's work like?
Work is an 8 too. It's busy. It's very busy, but it's not bad. It's just busy.
Elaborate. An 8.
Yeah, like it's, there's some things that are changing around me, and I realize I still have to do my job. I'm good at what I do, Sometimes I think often we don't pat ourselves on the back enough. I mean, I know you do.
She ain't gonna be able to get her head out. Did you see that stroke she just threw in there?
I am. I'm good at what I do. I know my job. Any job that I have, I've been good at it. Yeah, so I mean, I'm good.
Light on me too.
Yeah, you do often, which is good.
I'm just saying.
You do talk about your work and how great you are, and which you should when you pass inspections. So I mean, I'm good at what I do, and even though sometimes it's stressful and it's a lot, I do it well, and it comes and goes. So I don't have any complaints.
Finances.
My finances are good. I'm going to say a 9.
Ooh, a neener.
Yeah.
Nueve.
I don't have any complaints there.
A neener, nueve. Elaborate.
Oh, look at you. Knowing your Espanol.
Finances is good.
Yeah, my finances is good. You got some money for me?
No.
Okay.
Why would I have money for you?
That would have made it a 10.
Yeah. All right, cool. So you're 8, 8, 9.
8, 8. Now I thought aren't you missing one?
No.
My mental
work, finances.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. You're right. I'm sorry.
41 weeks now.
Well, we didn't do it for 41 weeks, but I get
41 weeks now.
How are you?
I'm good.
No, how are you?
I'm good.
You good?
She's touching on me right now. So,
How, break it down. What's your mental like?
My mental is a 9.
Oh, wow.
Just feel sharp. I feel clear. Feel like I'm operating on a high level. Want to keep it that way.
That's good. That's good. When you feel good, you know, that makes days go by.
Because your mental encompasses all 3 of the categories. So, yeah.
All 3 of the categories?
Well, the other 2.
Yeah. What's work like?
Work is a 9. Work is a 9.
Why? Because you're so good?
No, just things falling into place. Yeah, at a certain point, these jobs start to run themselves if you coordinate right. So,
and because you do such a good job at coordinating.
Well, you know.
And you know, with you working so close, you just be popping in and out the house. You know, I be asleep. I hear somebody flushing the toilet at 5:30 in the morning. Like, ain't nobody supposed to be here but me.
I wanted to come home to pee.
He comes home to have lunch. Literally, I'm working. He'll come home, sit at the table, have lunch. Hey, Tosh. Hey. Have his lunch. All right, I'm getting ready to leave. Okay.
I could not say anything.
No.
Just down there.
I'm not saying that, but it's just like, you know, maybe sometimes we can like sneak in, you know, a little.
You're trapped up here in this room and you seem like you're.
I do be working, like, but if you give me a heads up sometimes, I can do some coordinating too so things can fall into line and run themselves.
That kind of takes the spontaneity out of it, the fun. Like I went home to eat a sandwich and end up getting some nookie. Not like,
well, I need a little
make sure
bit
I gotta
of
get back there because, you know.
No, I'm just.
I gotta wolf this sandwich down because I gotta get these 75 pumps in.
What's your finances look like?
Finances is a 9.
A 9?
Finances is a 9. Yeah. Last week they was on a 10. This week they on a 9.
Oh, you spent some money?
Well, I have to.
Okay. So that took you down a notch.
Yep.
All right, what's your wows and woes for this week?
Oh, I go first?
Yeah.
Wows and woes.
Well, which one you want to start with?
My wow. Wow is I'm going away, and I'm looking forward to that. It's like a sort of, that's cool. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like a little addiction now.
To going away?
Yeah, I just want to get out sometime and go away. So, yeah, I start to feel that craving, and it's like, all right, I want to go somewhere. I ain't, you know, and chill, hang out, do some different shit, be off work for a couple days. I'm always looking forward to that, being with you. You know, praying for peace.
It's definitely a good time.
Yeah.
A good time to be had. What's your woe?
My woe is just my guy at work.
I knew you was going to say that. Not to like, you know.
My guy at work. Just, you know, just again, these emotions of love is fucked up. It is. And I've always, yeah, because it's the one emotion you can't really figure out. And it's not, okay, let me say this. If you're a broken person or a person that probably hasn't unpacked some things in your life as you got older, and you're fall in love with this, you know, female or male, whatever, male perspective, woman perspective, gay, whatever the fucking case may be, you fall in love with somebody and you're like open up to them, you're vulnerable to them, and you're just tied to them, and it feels great. But somewhere down the line, because you're not emotionally stable or emotionally intelligent enough, your emotions are tied where, again, a person can say 5 or 6 words to you to make you feel like you're on cloud 9, and it's the greatest feeling in the world, being in love like that. It's the greatest fucking feeling in the world. And they can say 5 or 6 words to you because they know you and they know your emotion and they know your buttons and they know your tap out. They can say 5 or 6 words to you to make you feel a ½ inch tall. And is love really supposed to fucking be that way? Right.
So would you say love is painful or mismanaged love is? Because love ain't supposed to hurt.
I mean, it's not supposed to hurt, but it does.
When it's not managed properly.
The whole thing hurts.
I mean, but you just said it feels good when it feels good.
But it don't always feel good. So you got to take, you can't, love don't always feel good.
But is it the love
it's
that
supposed
hurts,
to always feel
or is it the part that's hurting? Is that part love?
I'm sure it don't feel like love. No, if I had to answer, I wouldn't say it feels like love, but you're still wrapped up in the emotion of love. You can't probably walk away from that male or female because you love them. So it's tied up in love. When you sit there and think about why this person hurt you or said this to you, you refrain from walking away or disconnecting from them because of love. So I'm not saying that what they're showing when something like that is happening is love, but its entirety, the emotion of it, is just, it's bad for certain people who have not healed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my woe. I just,
So seeing a friend go through a difficult situation of difficult
because I can relate to him. I've had a relationship, but I can't relate to what he's going through because I never went through that. But I just know that it's not all good, and I can understand how that feels sometimes, especially as a man when you feel a little just wore down, beat down, tired. I get where he's coming from, and I hate to see him like that because you just want to see your friends smile and be happy. You don't want to see your friends fucking upset and hurt.
Hopefully, a rainbow is on its way.
Yeah. They say anybody that you encounter, well, everybody is either going through something, coming out of something, or about to go through something. So that don't necessarily mean it's all bad, but it could be coming out of something bad, about to go into something good. But that's everybody's plate. What's your wows and woes?
So my woe, just been going through some emotional things, parental, just some emotional things. Family dysfunction can sometimes take a toll on you, and it can be stressful. Like, even when not to say like if nothing happens, just the dynamics of certain relationships can take a toll on you. So that has kind of been a woe on my heart the last few days. But the wow is same as you, knowing that we're going to have an opportunity to disconnect but connect with one another, spend some time, get to explore and do something new together, experience something new together. So I'm looking forward to our time away. I'm looking forward to us just being together. We've gone on trips with people and it's been what it's been. We've had good times.
Sucks.
But no, it doesn't.
What's your opinion?
It doesn't. It has not always. It hasn't sucked. We've had a good time.
I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, but when we're together, we're not itinerary people.
No.
So if you go somewhere with us and like you're invited to go with us, don't expect okay, we're gonna do this on this day at 7:00, and then we're
not gonna do every activity that you want to do together.
Well, not only that, we're not gonna have a plan.
No.
Like, it might be like, look, on Sunday we're gonna have dinner together. One day this week we'll, have breakfast or something together. One day this week we might want to do this, but we're gonna just kind of throw things in the basket and let them fall where they fall. Like, we don't do things with an itinerary. Like, we'll say, okay, these are the things that we want to do during this time, and we'll see where they line up. Or
it could be something like, "Ooh, shit, look at that! Want to try that time?"
Yeah,
now we're doing that, and it wasn't even a part of the plan.
Yeah, I'm not a person to have an itinerary, but we're the same in that manner, so it works. So I'm just looking forward to that, and whatever we find ourselves getting into, who knows, we may be in one place and end up in another country.
Doubt that would happen, but okay. This has just been in the fucking news like crazy. New York mandates COVID-19 vaccine for city workers. Refusal will result in unpaid leave.
I mean, but it's nothing new. I mean, I hear what you're saying. In Philadelphia, University of Pennsylvania Hospital has done the same thing.
But isn't this vaccine shit tiring? Like,
it is.
It's because it's politicized. Hold on, and it's like people. Again, I always say you have a certain age. You're a dozen vaccines in already. So if you're in the military, like I've heard from military people, you enter an assembly line where they just shoot you in the arm with stuff, and you don't stop and ask what that is. You know, you don't stop and say, I'm taking, you're in the military. You just rush through the line, you get stuck in the shoulders, and you good. But it's just like, come on now. Like, do some research, get the vaccine, don't get the vaccine, but what the fuck? The vaccine is
but
just
see, the thing is this, though. And
incentivize people to get the vaccine. They was giving away free joints and free hamburgers and
but you have to think, I understand the people's skepticism about it, because again, you're giving away joints and burgers and all this stuff. The fact that they are pushing it in the manner that they are makes it seem fishy. And I'll tell you this, today we got a notification at my job saying that because
that's broad, though. What you mean fishy? Like,
I'm going to tell you, because we are considered a federal contractor. Like, I don't work for the government, but I can see where what we do in some way ties into the government, but whatever. And President Biden has stated that all government workers or federal contractors or whatever, well, you know, basically they're using that loose connection to say, you know, we're going to require all employees to be vaccinated. And I guess they haven't quite found a way to do that for people where there is no government affiliation. So they're going to start with companies where definitely if you're a city worker, state worker, federal government worker, or companies that have some relation, they feel like, okay, we can get those away, and then we'll figure out the rest of the people. But this is where it gets fishy. My job, I know, like, because of COVID, a lot of people started working from home, you know, temporarily or in a hybrid situation, part-time working from home. My job is full-time work at home. I do not have to go to anybody's office. Like, it's just not required. But this is stating that you will be required to be vaccinated regardless.
How?
Exactly. Why?
Why do I gotta be vaccinated if I'm in my house?
This is why it makes people skeptical. It makes it feel like there's an ulterior motive, not by the company, but by the government, where basically the government is really just trying to get everybody vaccinated. So they're going to tell these companies, this is what you have to make your employees do.
Right, create these mandates.
Right, but the vaccination is to make someone safe. You know, it's for safety, for health reasons, for health safety, so that you don't become sick, so that you don't infect. If you become sick, you won't hopefully die, even though Colin Powell, vaccinated, just died.
He was fighting cancer.
But I understand that there's some caveats
to it. I'm
just
saying, he had a big caveat, the C word. He
had
cancer, but he was fighting cancer.
But what I'm saying is, this is where it becomes fishy, because it's like, I work from home. I don't come in contact with people in this company, but you want me to be vaccinated. What does that have to do with my job? So I could potentially lose my job if I choose not to be vaccinated, but I don't even have to come to your office ever. Like, literally, I have people that I work with who have not worked in the office for 20 years, who are in the same position as I am. Like, that's just not a thing. My position doesn't require that. So why would you say remote workers are required to be vaccinated?
Well, I think that circumstance is bad. I think there's some question.
And they're saying it's from the government.
Hold on. I think there's some question to be done there as far as why does people have to stay home? Why do you have to be vaccinated? But it's an ulterior motive to get people vaccinated. I mean, just to create the mandates. Being vaccinated is for other people. I mean, it's for you. You still can get COVID. You still can, but you won't be hospitalized, and hopefully you won't die. It's what they tell you. So, you believe in the science of that, that's what'll happen. But it's just to get everybody vaccinated, so that we're taking care of everybody. It's not, and again, when people say it's something fishy there, okay, tell me what's fishy. What do you think it is? What's the whole, because like, I was watching something, Mike Vick's wife, And she was asked directly, like, what's your holdup against the vaccine? And she had a legitimate reason. So I'd like to ask people, what's the legitimate reason? Her legitimate reason was her baby got vaccinated. And after he got vaccinated, not the COVID, but earlier vaccinations, I think he got 3 at one time, and he stopped talking. And he still doesn't talk. And he's an older child now and goes to speech classes and stuff to try to get his speech back. But a vaccination earlier stopped him from speaking. So to me, that's a legitimate reason for you to be like, oh, that's not cool. Like, that happened to me. But for other people who just saying, oh, I don't want to get it because I don't want to get it because the government got something up their sleeve. What do you think the government? Everybody can't compound on her thing. So
right, but the
what's
thing
your
is,
reason?
you don't know. I also the recent guy, the basketball player who said that he developed blood clots. I know someone personally whose sister, the same exact thing happened.
Right.
So again, not saying just because something happened to one person you think is going to happen to you, but it is a reason to raise concern. And not only that, and I know at some point you got to start trials, and you have to do stuff.
And doesn't that kind of shit happen at scale? Like, just period. I'm not saying right or wrong or it's not nothing to care about, but when you start talking about 300 million Americans at scale, something's going to happen to some people.
Right, but you have to think to yourself also, do I want to get COVID, get sick, maybe lose and I know you can die, but let's not forget 1% of people died. Mm-hmm. And then if you don't die, the 99% who had it, who didn't die, and you recover, life goes on. Now, there are some people that had some longer lasting effects, breathing issues or things like that. But if you don't die and life goes on, you're good. You had COVID, you cough, you got to wait a couple weeks for your senses to come back, but you're good. Or I can get the vaccine and they'll have blood clots where I could potentially have a stroke, have a heart attack, and this is not something that is just going to go away. So when people weigh the pros and cons, it's like, I'll take my chance with having this like flu times 1,000. I'm not saying it's just like the flu. I understand from people that have had it, it's a really bad experience, but they've gotten past it.
Not everybody.
No, I'm saying the people that I know.
Right.
I don't know anybody personally that's died.
Right.
But they've gotten past it. Of course, not everybody has lived. We know that. But I think now, as we know more details, and we know a lot of people
going up.
We know a lot of people that died at the beginning was because they were being placed on ventilators. No fault to the medical community because they didn't know. It's
right.
a respiratory, it's a disease that's attacking your respiratory system. They did what they thought was best, but we know it was all over the news that they were running out of ventilators for these people. But now we find out, hey, all these ventilators that we were using, maybe it was doing a disservice.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be the one to say all of them people die because they were put on ventilators.
No, not all.
Because some people, like people with cancer, have compromised immune systems. People who smoke cigarettes have compromised immune system. People who have respiratory issues have compromised immune system. So it can kill you. And people who have weight issues have compromised immune system. So it can kill you. And all I'm saying is, we haven't been sick in 2-3 years. Well, you were sick real bad last year. Yeah, we thought you had it. When it wasn't even a thing. Like,
this
it wasn't
was
even
right
on the
before
news.
this. So this was December 2019. Remember, COVID hit. Well, we were notified about it because remember all the stories that they really knew.
You got sick real bad, sent home with a mask when people wasn't even wearing masks.
You
got sent home
with all these medications that they don't give you typically lean. For the flu. They gave me lean. Yep. They gave me a Z-Pack. They gave me steroids.
Real lean, like promethazine, like lean, like white cup lean.
And my sister, who's a nurse, was like,
we still got it.
Was like, why did they give you all this for the flu? I'm like, I don't know. Literally, I had a mask on, came home. He's like, what's this? The doctor told me to leave it on. Like, this was December 2019. COVID hit March 2020. I in no way, shape, or form ever tell anybody that I ever had COVID. The doctor said I had the flu. I had the flu. But that's the most sketchy flu diagnosis that I've ever encountered.
Yeah, you mean everybody had a cold and had a real bad flu. You never had like breathing problems, like somebody sitting on your chest or
no. You remember
wheezing
my
in your
chest?
sleep.
That was the worst thing.
Yeah, like the wheezing was
chest
like
pain.
Because you can lean over and look at somebody and be like, okay, that's just sick. They a little warm. But when you listen to somebody like,
yeah,
it's like, this ain't good.
I wasn't wheezing, but it literally felt like something was like, and I was coughing and coughing.
Yeah,
and
that's
coughing.
what you had, them cough
Yeah,
symptoms.
And you overdosed me on the lean.
Well, you was coughing for like 15 minutes
It
straight.
would not go away.
Yeah, you can't cough for 15 minutes.
And I lost like 13 pounds. I'll always say I felt like the the tax thing that they blow up and it be like blowing in the wind, and then when they turn it off, it withers away. That's how I felt. Like literally, I laid in bed in the same spot.
USA man.
Yes. He left for work at 4:30 in the morning, came home at 2:30. I was literally in the same spot. I hadn't went to the bathroom. I did nothing. But I had the flu. All I'm saying is there's been so many things that have changed. Not saying that, let me say this, not saying that the government is intentionally being deceitful. We know in some ways, in other situations, they are.
But that's what I'm getting at. What do people think the government is doing?
Well, what I'm saying, listen, let me finish. I'm not saying that they're being intentionally deceitful, but it's like trying to sell somebody something that you really aren't sure about, but you're trying to sell it to them, and then when things change, you're trying to sell this to them again, and that you're really not sure about, but you're like, yeah, this is the good thing, and then when things change, oh yeah, this is a good thing. Like, do you think that they forgot 2 good things ago that you said? Yeah. And it that increases the skepticism. So again, not saying that they're being intentionally deceitful, but it's like they're trying to push the narrative like it's a sure shot every time, and then when things change, oh, this is a sure shot, and then when things change, oh, this is
no, it's not. It's never a sure shot. Anything coming from the government, so don't believe that. But just do the research yourself, and don't just group up and be like, we're not getting vaccinated.
Didn't you tell me that you were taught to question science?
Yeah, that's the slogan of science. I always was taught in school, like, science, question science, like so. But
so
I'm not saying that they. Yeah, but still, it's some people still dying. Is all I'm saying. And if the science, if you believe in science and you question it, do some research. But if the majority, you've had vaccinations, not everybody, but majority of people had vaccinations. So I don't know why you get to one and just be like, I'm not good with that. Like, what's it take? The 4 years for you to make you feel comfortable that? Because there's still something wrong with all of them.
Well, because one, you gotta think when you're a baby, you don't have a choice.
But we don't have polio. We don't have the measles. We don't have shit like that used to eradicate people. Used to tear people apart, kill people by the millions, hundreds of thousands. We don't have those diseases no more because of vaccines. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't question it, or every vaccine is safe, or the government doesn't have all the information, but there's information out there that you can just go and do yourself and then make a decision. Is all I'm saying.
I think that's what some people are doing.
But some
not
people
everybody.
have a hard stance, like, fuck that vaccine. They're trying to put something in you. They're trying to kill 150 million people. Like, they're going to have 150 million funerals for people that just dropped dead from the government just, like, wiped out.
I don't think it's that necessarily. I do think that there's some financial motives behind it. And let's think about this. Pharmaceutical companies.
Sure, they made these drugs. They got to sell them or get rid of them.
In America, and I don't want to speak incorrectly, so if I am wrong, please let us know. But I think I've read this somewhere. America is the only place where government employees, which are called lobbyists, they want to give them a name, but really they're people who are bribed, are paid by organizations.
Lobbyists are bribers.
They bribe. Yeah, they are paid by corporations to push their agendas. So of course, the lobbyists for the pharmaceutical companies are part of the people who are pushing this, and I don't know who those people are, but there's a financial motive behind this.
R.J.
Because we
Reynolds,
think about this.
The people who like make cigarettes, all brands of cigarettes, people like that, they're lobbyists, like big tobacco. They're lobbyists.
Well, the lobbyists are the government officials, I thought.
No, the lobbyists are
the corporations.
The corporations that put these money and these people in these positions to make these laws, because they got them, the Walmarts, the goddamn those people. Those are
and you got to
lobbyists.
think about this, right? These vaccinations are being administered for free. Okay?
But they're bought from the government, from the farm.
No, I get that, but I'm saying for the people who were receiving them, they're free. That's why they can do them in parking lots. They can do them in mass places
Walgreens,
where no type of insurance information is obtained. They're done for free. But you know what they're changing the laws on? COVID tests. Insurance companies are now starting to say, ho, 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 ho. We are paying for far too many COVID tests. We're not going to continue to pay for these COVID tests, meaning like they're free, because the insurance companies pay for COVID tests, unless you go to like one of those free places in the parking lot where you don't have to show. But if you're going to like an urgent care or your doctor and you're getting a COVID test, those doctors bill your insurance, and most people, you don't have a copay for it. Insurance companies are pushing back. They're not about to just arbitrarily be paying every time a COVID test comes. There's going to be certain requirements that are going to have to be met to determine why you're getting this COVID test and like if they symptoms should pay for it. Exactly. Not just, oh, I was exposed. I feel good. Nothing is wrong with me, but I'm just getting a COVID test. Now, I will say there's been some evidence that there's some people that were getting COVID tests like every day. Or maybe like, maybe you were exposed to somebody and you're scared. So you're going every day to make tested. Sure. I get it. It's a little cuckoo, but I get it. But insurance companies are pushing back on COVID tests because now they're like, they just want you to get the vaccine, which is crazy because the vaccine doesn't mean that you still can't get COVID.
I was gonna say, that's tied together. When you said that, I thought, okay, that's just the government saying, let's chill on the testing and just push the vaccine.
Exactly, which is free. So they want to stop insurance companies from paying for these COVID tests, because then that way people will be scared, like, oh my God, if I got to pay for a COVID test, then maybe I'll just get the vaccine to protect myself. And I'm not saying which is right or wrong. My stance has been my stance from the beginning. I feel like people should make, but what you say, I do feel like people should make an informed decision. But sometimes when you don't know, you err on the side of caution. And if people feel like they're protecting themselves, they're being cautious by protecting themselves.
I think they're being cautious, and I think sometimes it's bullshit. Like Michi Marshall says, been a stance. I've been watching the podcast, and I won't get the COVID test. I'm against vaccines. Blah 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 blah. She says the other day, which is total contradiction, that okay, me and Brandon had some time to get away, and we went to New York, got a reservation, got there, and realized they wanted vaccine cards. And we felt like outsiders. So what I do the next day? Schedule vaccine shots. Like, how do you just... That's the people I'm talking about, who just flip like that because, oh, I can't do what I want. Now I want the vaccine. Like, where's the hard stance at now?
Exactly. And I know this is a big push, but it's almost like somebody saying, I don't believe in abortion. I don't believe in abortion. I don't believe in abortion. I had a one-night stand and I'm pregnant and I really don't want this baby. Let me go get this abortion. And I know that's a stretch, talking about abortion and vaccination. Yeah, but it's like, okay, stand what you do. And it's okay to change your mind, but to say, oh, I just changed my mind, which I think a lot of people are going to do because it's snowballing.
But she said on TV, I changed my mind for that simple fact. We were standing in line waiting, and then we realized they're taking vaccination cards, and we felt like outsiders. So I wanted, the next day, I scheduled vaccine shots.
That dynamic is snowballing because a lot of places, when we were scheduled to go to New Orleans, we were looking at restaurants. A lot of restaurants said that vaccine card. We've been to places. We went to a couple comedy shows where we had to show our vaccine card. One in New York, one in Philly. So more places are going to require.
That's accommodations, and entertainment and things like that. What do you do for your livelihood? What do
you
you
mean?
do when your job is threatened? You will be sent home for unpaid leave if you're not vaccinated. So what decision do you make then? What if you can't just stop working here and start working here and be making the same money? Like, where does your stance go then? Is it stringent enough now where you do a 180 just like that? Because it's like, I can get another job, but I ain't gonna be making this money,
But
and I gotta work my way up again, and like all this
I can
other shit.
respect that change of heart more than, and again, people do what they want. You change your mind for whatever you want. But if you really have a hard stance and you change your mind because you can't check into a hotel, it's like, did you really have a hard stance? But if you change your mind because you may be facing the potential of not being able to feed your family, then I would understand. You would have to suck that up and do what you got to do. But I think there are going to be so many people. Now, let's not forget, there's always a loophole. There's always a scam. But people don't realize y'all going to be going to jail with these fake government documents. That's all I'm going to say. Like,
how about a fucking hockey player, guy making millions of dollars, got arrested for doing some illegal shit. I think of hitting his wife or some shit, or at a bar fight, and then had a fake vaccine card.
And it's
like,
a
this motherfucker making millions of dollars.
And it's like, a $16,000 fine from what I read that. I don't know if that's like across the board, but I read that there was somebody that was fined $16,000 because it has that federal logo on there. Falsifying documents with a federal logo is what the crime is. So if it was, a medical card from a doctor's office or something like that, I don't know how.
I'm sure there's some state
they will find some way,
they
but they take it to a federal level because, this is a federal document that you're falsifying.
I knew that shit was going to be, when they handed it to me, I knew it was like, okay, they're going to do something behind this, because the lady wrote it in pencil.
Yeah.
She wrote my name in pencil. I was like, what the fuck? And when she put the sticker on there, I'm like, oh, okay, like these numbers are going to go to some federal database, and it's like, okay, you've been vaccinated, and they know. So they can check, and probably some type of equipment's going to come out in the future where they're going to be able to read them numbers. So if they scan your shit and it don't come up or not in the system, then you fraudulent, you delinquent.
I mean, it's weird because you think to yourself, is that where society is going, where our health information is going to be available at the local bar, at the local movie theater, at the local comedy club?
I'm just talking about COVID, but I get what
you're
saying.
But I'm not just saying all your health records. And then you think, just like just about every business, I would think 99.9% of businesses have equipment where they can accept credit cards. Is it something that the government issues to every business, this thing to scan?
And everybody is on this Kyrie Irving thing about him taking a stand for the vaccine. And it's like, it's different when you talk about a person like that, who I think is cuckoo anyway, but that's another story. But he's sitting home and making $17 million to sit home. So he could afford to say, fuck the money and I don't have to work. But for people who can't afford to stay home and, make $17 million a year.
And you know tough. What I did here, and I did not research it myself, but someone told me that for those people who are let go from their jobs for that reason, that you will not be able to claim unemployment, which makes sense because if this is the government's agenda to push this, they're not going to pay you because you decided to go against their agenda.
Which is weird because they give out stimulus checks. So they give you money for shit anyway. But they're not going to pay you for your livelihood.
Yeah, but you won't be able to
somehow
claim
they'd be like, oh yeah, y'all need an influx of money for your livelihood. Here's $600. Like, but no, you're not gonna pay for my real livelihood.
Because
my job.
Because you refuse to go along with their agenda.
Moving on from the vaccine, people. If you want to get the vaccine, another thing. Did you know Biden? Did you see on the news when Biden got the booster shot?
I don't watch the news.
Well, there's a video of Biden sitting in a chair getting a booster shot. Well, that wasn't at the White House. And it was reported that it was at the White House. And it was down the street at a set that they built to look like the White House. And it's a stage, and 2 windows and a chair. So my thing is, why would you say it's at the White House when you can do it at the White House? The fact that it's at the set makes me think that he didn't get no shot at all.
I mean, so I'm two thoughts.
Because it's like, why would you fake the set and do a real shot? You should have just did it at the White House where it's real and do the real shot. Like the fact that you did it at a set and put the headline up that Biden got his shot at the White House. Like, no, it wasn't. It was a half wall movie type set.
Like, why go through all that instead of just having somebody, the money that it took for you to go, maybe security measures and all that stuff. And the
reporter that outed that got in trouble real bad. He said, like, that wasn't the White House. That was a movie, like a half room.
So let me ask this. And again, I don't watch the news, so I'm not sure. Have they been doing press conferences, like, in the White House like they used to do?
I don't watch the news either. I saw this on a clip. So okay. I don't know. I don't watch CNN. We don't watch the news at night no more. Like,
yeah, it's too depressing. Okay, and the reason why I asked, because I was just thinking, like, if they haven't resumed those type of, you know, where they have, like, all the media in there, maybe it was some kind of security measure where they didn't, you know, they're keeping a distance of people still social distancing. When they show the backup
picture, you see the half wall top.
No, what I'm saying is...
And then you see the reporters in the room, probably 50 of them.
No, what I'm saying is, are they still social distancing people from the actual White House? And that's why they use this set. I don't know. But I will say this. Anytime the government, the White House, will have a national new talk show, fake a COVID result for 2 of their hosts to remove them from the set, tell their business like on air like that, just to avoid them from asking that Haiti the questions. VP lady questions about Haiti, then they're liable to do anything. So I'm not surprised.
Some gangster ass shit right
And it was
there.
so
but you
obvious.
Can tell the vice president is black, because the white person wouldn't have did that. They'd have got up there and fumbled. Black lady was like, nah.
Get them out of there. I don't care what, she probably said, I don't care what y'all got to do. I don't care what y'all got to say.
If y'all want if y'all want to interview me, y'all want to ask y'all questions about whatever's going on, except Haiti, then get them out of there.
I'm not coming on set if they on set. So you want this interview, we're going to do this interview, but they can't be there.
That's crazy. That was the most gangster shit I ever seen. Like, that's up there with Trump gangster. Like, get off the set, a live set, because y'all can't ask me questions.
Who do you think will be, I mean, we have no clue. Like, who, unless you're, like, really into politics, who knew Obama before he became, you know, he started running? So I guess this is probably a rhetorical question, because we have no clue. We don't follow politics like that. But I will ask this. Do you think Biden is going to get a second term?
No.
I don't
think he's going to make it through 4 years.
Let's not say that.
No, I don't mean he's going to die. I just don't think he's going to
Well, that's what I was thinking. I just didn't want to say it. I didn't want
to put that kind of juju out there. I mean,
you don't think he's going to finish?
Yeah, because he's old and senile, and that's clearly visible that he probably has some sort of early onset. Clearly visible how he falls asleep, how he says the same line in speeches. Like, if he's reading a prompter and he says a line, he'll say the line again. And they'll say the line again. And it's like, you got to move on to the next line, bro.
I feel like he never knows what he said. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just reading it. Like, right now, if somebody asked me to read this passage in French, if I knew how to read French, or if I knew how to pronounce the words, I could read it, but I would have no idea what I'm saying. That's how I feel about him. Like, he's reading these passages that are on the teleprompter, but they have to give him lines. He's got
35% in him a day, and they're trying to ask him to do 100% of shit, and it's just not going to work for 4 years. He's going to burn out.
His only pivot is to go to what he does know, which is his family history. That's why when things come up and he has to pivot and he has to, like, come off the top and improv, he starts talking about his sons, because that's what he knows. But he can't pivot. He has to go by the script.
Yeah. And it's a shame, because he might fall or something and be like, okay, he got hurt real bad, he can't continue. Like, but that's probably, I don't wish that the guy died, but he's going to get hurt.
I wasn't saying I wish that he did.
I know what you meant, but you were saying, like, he probably don't know. He's 80-something years old.
And unhealthy.
Moving on. Video I showed you in East Atlanta of a young kid walking in the gas station and tried to carjack this dude. And the dude was watching his car and ran up on him with a gun. No, let me finish.
Well, I just want to say, I'm happy you said young kid, because I was watching thinking, this looks like a boy.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
He was about 13 years old.
Wow.
The guy was like, I live in East Atlanta. This is where I'm from. Down here in Georgia, we can carry guns. It's a different law in our state. And got my gun on. He's a working man. So he was like, I ain't on no bullshit or nothing like that, but I grew up in the hood. So I left my car running. I come here all the time, and I'm watching my car, getting some ribs, and I see this young kid coming out the gas station, and I'm watching everybody body language. Like, that's the type of shit I grew up on. And I see him jump in my car. Brand new Benz he just got, and you see what happens. He ran up on him, and he said when I seen he was a kid, because he did a video and they wanted to talk to him afterwards. Mm-hmm. And he said when I seen he was a kid, like I knew right then and there I didn't want to kill him. But when he got out the car, he said to me, don't kill me, just call the police. And he said my first thought was to lift up his shirt to see if he had a gun, because I was going to take his gun from him. And then he was like, I thought to myself, I did dumb shit when I was a kid that could have got my head blown off. He was like, I ain't never do no shit like this. But I took the kid to the side and politicked with him for a little bit and just told him, you got to change your hustle, man. You can't be out here doing shit like this. Like, the next person ain't going to be as lenient as I am, like, and sit and talk to you. Like, they going to want to kill your ass, and you change your hustle. Like, what the fuck is going on? But just your thoughts.
So a couple things that ran through my head when I saw it. One, I thought, like, dang, he looked really, really young. And so hearing you say that, it's sad that this was a kid. I'm happy that he didn't kill him. I know we talked about how there has been such an uptick in people carrying weapons and people getting their licenses to carry. While I don't agree, I understand why some people may make that decision. It's just not something that is for me at this time in my life. I'm happy that whether if it was a kid or a grown man, that he didn't kill him. Yeah, he was trying to steal your car. Once you approach him, you tell him what to do. He didn't come back. Like, he didn't pull out a gun. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a reason to kill him. So that I'm happy that it didn't result. And to me, I don't know this man, it shows that he may just be a responsible gun owner. He may be a person who, he's just responsible in having a weapon. But just because he grew up doesn't mean somebody might have ran up and got out and he could have started popping it. No, I mean, not in the car, because then you're ruining your property. But he could have just started popping off at him.
But I think it's because, and this is just my thought, when he ran up and when he was telling the story, when I seen he was a kid, he was like, my energy changed. So what if it was a grown man?
I mean, who knows what would have happened, but I still don't think...
options. So when you see a grown man in your car, does your energy calm down then to be like, I can talk and politic with this guy and tell him change his hustle? But because it's a fucking child, it's like, damn, like, I don't want to do this.
Maybe
but a grown man, you like, I'm not even giving him the chance.
Well,
I'm not even talking to him. Like,
no, maybe you're not talking to him. Maybe you saying, get the F out my car. And if he jumps out your car and run, okay, that's the end of it. I still don't think that person should be shot. So yeah, the end result may not be the same where you have the opportunity to school him in politics. He may not want to hear that. He may have just ran.
But what if your intention is I'm not letting him run? Like, because he jumped in my car. He violated my shit. So what if your intention is, your anger is, get out my car and I'm grabbing him?
I mean,
and obviously you want to grab him up to see if he has a gun, because if he can get but so far, he can start shooting at you.
Okay, so I mean, if that was just it's a lot of hypotheticals in the way that could have went. In the end, I'm happy that nobody was shot over over trying to steal a car. Because again, even if it was a grown man, I don't think that's a murderable offense. Like, that person shouldn't have been shot.
Right.
If you did have a chance to apprehend him for the police to come, then all well and good. If not, if he gets out and he just runs, all well and good. Now, if he turns around and he starts firing back.
If you carry a gun and you're at a gas station at freaking Wawa, you got your Range Rover, and somebody jump in your fucking car while you getting gas, and you pull your gun on them, and they start to take off, are you going to shoot?
No, I'm not shooting them.
Okay, I was just asking.
No, I'm not.
I was just asking. Like,
first of all, they're running, so I don't think I'm allowed to shoot a running person.
What if you like in front of the car, like get the fuck out of my car, and they like put it in drive and start driving like they about to.
Well, that's another. I don't think
like they're not listening to you. Is my point. Like they're about to take the car.
Oh, you mean it? So
like, are you going to stop it, or are you just going to pull the gun out and try to scare them and be like, get out the car? And if they
I don't think you should pull the weapon unless you want to use it. So I don't think in my mind I would want to kill a person for stealing a car. I would listen. Let me finish. I would want them not to take my car, so maybe I'll shoot the tires. Something like that. I don't know, but I don't think I would try. That's why I don't want to carry a gun, because I'm not going to try to shoot at this person, because what if I kill them? Now I got to murder, because I might not even go to jail. They may say it's justified. But now I got a murder on my heart because he was trying to steal my car.
But there's
I got
such thing
auto
as personal
insurance.
space. Where does it stop? Does it stop at the house? Is there such thing as personal space?
Yeah, but it's a car. It can be replaced. Yes, it stops at the house.
Okay.
It stops at the house. It stops at...
you better fucking shoot here.
Yeah, it stops at trying to harm my husband, trying to harm our kids. That's where it stops. You trying to steal my car? Yeah, I'm going to hope that me pulling out my gun will scare you. Maybe I can shoot the tires out.
You just said you're not going to pull the gun out unless you're going to shoot. So if you're not going to shoot him, then you're going to just shoot the tire. That's if
he tries to get away, yeah. Hopefully he'll see the gun and that'll just stop him. But if he tries to get away, then yeah, I'm gonna still try to stop him from getting away. But I don't want to kill a person for stealing a car.
I understand that, baby. You don't have to keep saying that. I don't want you to kill a person.
But listen.
But what about just shooting them?
But what if I make a mistake and kill him?
Okay.
I mean, you shouldn't just... I mean, I ain't no sharpshooter, so I could just try to shoot him in his shoulder. But what if I shoot him in the heart? He's driving. I can't shoot him in the legs. Where am I going to shoot him?
What if Aubrey in the back seat?
Then that's different. I said it stops at my kids and my husband
so
in our
try
home.
To shoot him then?
You're taking my child? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're taking my child. But again, I need to be sure. Oh, yeah. I'm definitely
shoot into the car with the.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Now in my mind, I'm thinking.
So you was worried about missing earlier, but you're gonna shoot into the car.
I'm gonna probably chase
now you're
the
gonna
car.
hit him.
I'm gonna probably chase
now
the car
your aim
to
is
make
good,
sure
though.
that But I'm not chasing the car and shooting at it if it's just the car. But if you got one of my kids in the car, I'm chasing the car while I'm shooting. And I'm still shooting the tires out. Don't mess with my Aubrey. Don't mess with none of my kids. But this is the other piece, though, I wanted to say before you move on. When you said that the little boy said, don't kill me, just call the police. What it made me think of, and I've said this to you sometimes with even grown-ups. Sometimes I feel like and I ain't never lived this life, so this is just one of my Tasha-isms. I feel like street life is hard. Being a grown. I
just want to co-sign and make sure you're speaking truth. It is.
Being a grown-up is hard.
It is.
And if you're a young boy out here who you live in that street life, so I'm sure somebody probably put him up to stealing that car. You know, maybe not that car specifically. His assignment from the old heads might have been, go stake out the car. Yeah, go stake out the
He did look like he was just wandering, but you're right. Somebody could have just told him, don't come back unless you gotta.
He might walk back and forth through that parking lot all day because waiting for somebody to leave their car running, because I'm sure it probably happens often. He might walk to a couple different gas stations, and that kind of life can probably wear on them. So it makes me think sometimes, and I've said this about grown men, sometimes and I'm not saying jail is easier. I'm not saying jail is easy, but sometimes I think that some people think being in jail is easier than being in the street struggling. So when he said, call the cops, like, look, I don't want to be out here doing this. I'm probably hungry. I'm probably broke. He had a coat on, which lets me know it was a little cool outside. I might be cold. I might not have no place to sleep at night that's comfortable. And not saying jail is comfortable, but I know I'm going to eat. And I don't have no responsibility. Nobody can't put me up to no crime that could potentially get me killed.
There's some of that there, but you sound just like a typical woman. To me, that was just on some... oh shit, I'm scared you got that whistle in my face. Like, don't shoot me. Call the goddamn cops. I'm about to shit in my pants. I'm just saying
that popped in my head. Yeah. Like, because he could have just got out and ran too.
But again, the intention for a guy that pulls a gun out and you got a guy in your car, you're not letting him run. Because he can
It doesn't mean that he won't try. I'm just saying the boy could have tried to run and he didn't. Like, looking at the video.
I don't think he could have, because when he started opening the door, the guy came around to the door. So it was like, I'm not letting you run. And that was weird to me that he was that on point, because he was like, my first thing I thought was to lift his shirt up to see if he had a gun. Because, okay, if I let this kid run, then he get 10 feet away from me, he start shooting. Yeah. So that's just
it's
crazy.
That he was a boy.
Off topic. What's the craziest thing you've done in the name of love?
Wow.
And we here at the Act 2 podcast are transparent. We honest. Whether it be me or somebody else. What's the craziest thing you've ever done for love? In the name of love?
Well, I can say the last 20 years of our life, some people might say that was crazy.
Wow.
I mean, for me, I don't...
Yeah, I ain't asking what some people might say. I'm asking what you have done.
I mean, when I
that
think...
you deem like, damn, Tosh, you shouldn't have done that. You was a bit out there.
I mean, I would...
Because I'm going to be truthful.
Yeah, I mean, that I think is up there. I will say, outside of that, like, some real, like, crazy...
That's so funny.
All right, so I remember two different stories I'm gonna tell real quick.
Okay.
One was prior to you, right?
Okay.
And if you want to call this puppy love, whatever. I was like 18, had this little boyfriend, but he really wasn't my boyfriend, but he was kind of my boyfriend. But anyway, I called this phone and a girl answered.
Ooh.
And it was like, oh, she's like, he's not here. Okay. Now he lived with his mom, so she was just like over there, I guess, chilling with his mom. But he had his own line in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Call back a little bit later. He's not here. Call back a little bit later. Didn't I tell you he wasn't here? Stop calling here.
Twice.
Well, so I had to let her know. She told me she paid his phone bill, blah, blah, blah. Well, since you paid a phone bill, this is a brand new number that he got, that he just gave me the number to the phone bill that you pay. So I'm going to call as much as I want until he gets there. She cursed me out, told me don't call there, blah, 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 blah. So me and my cousin, and this is horrible because she had a 1-year-old child. Mind you, this is in January. We walk from, where we lived, up to Cambria Street. Freezing cold in January. Boom, 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 boom. Bang on the door. She come to the door. You just told me don't call here no more? And she's like, I didn't say that. And then his mom came to the door, and I felt so bad.
Because you felt like a little ratchet little whore.
And he cursed me out, like, why would you come to my mom's house? Yeah. It was like, because that girl told me don't call there no more. And so I had to come there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was bad. Another situation involving him. Now, I will say this. Like you said, we are transparent. This was a situation that happened we weren't even at our first year, like 12 months. A situation that happened where he met a friend. And to this day, y'all, I can tell you, I remember her whole name and her address. She don't even live there no more. She actually got married and moved to London. I found that out, You're such a detective. Whatever. But I know her. I still remember her full name and her address. But, he had a little friend, and she wanted to tell me. He was on some BS because he had told her this story. Whatever. Long story short, she was basically oh, he's just my friend, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, he ain't allowed to have no friends. You're not his friend. And she wanted to, pop off fly. And I knew the daycare that her child went to. And I told her. Listening. Her kid was going to get kidnapped. Let's just say that. I told her, you keep talking to him, you're going to have to come see me to get your son.
So you're going to be a gypsy and take babies?
I don't know nothing about
being still babies.
I don't know nothing about babies, but I told her, this ain't your friend. And if you think he your friend, let's see if your friend gonna help you when you gotta come see me to get your child. Mm. Now I know he go to this daycare center, and I'll be there to pick. And mind you, this was 20 years ago, so rules and stuff.
We've been together 8-9 months at this time.
Yeah, it was like 9 months. like rules and stuff was different, and I don't even know like if they would have let me pick this child up. Probably not. They probably would have called the cops on me.
But you was gonna steal them.
Yo.
Rules wasn't as stringent.
I was gonna take them.
For me, babe.
And let me tell y'all this too. Y'all ready? Are y'all listening? Are y'all ready? Let me just clear my throat. Wait, I'm gonna drink a sip of water. Cause y'all got
third story?
No. This is I gotta give them this is the bomb drop. I just gotta drink a sip of water to let y'all know this.
You did something else crazy?
No, this is the remainder to that story.
Oh, okay.
That I had to let them know. She was a snow bunny. Silence. Silence. You don't got nothing to say? Explain to the people. Explain to the people.
The craziest thing I've ever
No,
done.
no, explain to the people.
The craziest thing I've ever done. I used to be a lost soul. the craziest thing I've ever done is chase you down the street in a suit and you was driving. And I was in shoes.
Like church shoes. He was slipping.
If I would have caught, I'd have killed her.
I was in a car. I didn't even roll the window down. I was looking up like.
He wouldn't even be here today. I'd have chopped the ass up. Making me run in my shoes.
He ran up from behind, boom, 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 banged on the driver's side window, and I looked, and then I pulled off, so he had to run back to the truck.
Yeah, that's probably the craziest shit I've ever done.
That was your craziest story?
Yeah. This might be a little bit profanity laced and serious.
Woo!
But what's your beef segment? And this is my beef. And this is a little bit emotional, but I'm going to try to get through it. A woman was raped on the L Wednesday night by some guy. Penetrated her, ripped her clothes off and penetrated her on the L. And people sat there and recorded it. And not one fucking person stopped this. And it was men and female and everybody on the L in Philadelphia. So my beef is, what the fuck have we turned into where you see a female getting raped? Like, are we that much of a culture where it's just fucking mind your business? And I'm of the mind your business cloth. I see a woman and a man having an argument. I walk by and mind my business. But I'll be fucking damned if I watch a woman get raped in front of me on a train. Like, what the fuck is that about? Like, people pulling their phones out, watching a woman be raped on a train. Like, that's just, that's unacceptable. That's my beef. How people can sit idle and pull their fucking phones out and want to put shit up on internet. And we talking about a female being penetrated on a goddamn L train. And this guy was arrested, and he was a foreigner. Like, he had no green card or anything like that. But who the fuck sits there and watches somebody get raped? Who does that? Like, who? I don't give a fuck who it is. Who does that? Who doesn't get up and stop that? Like, you see a man and a woman arguing. Yeah, you want to mind your business because you don't know what they're arguing about. But if you physically see somebody being raped, how the fuck do you not stop that? Like, how do you be in the same room with a woman being raped and you don't say nothing? That's just crazy to me. That's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah,
that's my beef.
Yeah. My beef. This is not the same lines of that,
Fucking
but this
pussies.
is just some sick people in this world. So a man originally reported to be 55, but then I saw something that said he's between 46 to 55. He married his goddaughter, who's 18 years old. Yeah. But wait. That's not where the story stops. So the goddaughter, the 18-year-old girl, her mom did a live or whatever. So I guess the girl had did a live and was talking, saying some things about her mom. So the mom, what do you call it? Revenge, not revenge.
Retribution?
For retribution. She responded, whatever. She responded and did a live. Basically, what she was saying was, she was giving the guy some coochie for a little while, broke it off with him, and then he started messing with the daughter. The mom talked about the daughter like a dog, talked about how the guy had been cheating, and the daughter came to stay with her, and her coochie was itching because she was burnt. This is a mother talking about her daughter over the daughter marrying a godfather that the mom used to have sex with. And then the husband / godfather / ex-boyfriend reposted this live, or a portion of it that the mom did, and was saying that you're just jealous because I didn't want you, and you're not half the woman that your daughter is. So there's no denial by any of these parties in any of this. This is just a bunch of dysfunction. And in all of it, I feel bad for the 18-year-old, because she's a baby. 18 year we know is grown, but she's a baby. This is your mother. Supposedly her father was never in her life, so this is her was designated as her godfather, who was supposed to, look at a godparent as somebody that's put into position to fill the gaps of your parents, or to supplement to what your parents are doing for you. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be gaps. And this is what came of this situation. Just the dysfunction, like this world, people talk about, like we talked about President President Biden, and people say he's a robot or he's an alien. It is more aliens walking this earth. This is a hard.
I'm sorry.
I know. I'm sorry. There are more aliens or creatures or inhumane people walking this earth, and y'all might think we ignorant because, we talked about how we don't watch the news and stuff like that. And I was having a conversation with one of my sisters, and she was saying how, just the world is so depressing and seeing so much bad stuff. And I was saying how I don't watch the news because it is depressing. And a lot of those pages on social media that reports, like, the stories that are happening, not saying I don't see them, but I don't follow any of them, because sometimes we have to have some discernment, and we have to set boundaries about what we let into our system, because seeing that story just disturbed me. And so many other stories, like, we have to cut it off, because it's so much sickness and horrible things happening in this world. And so many people were focused on, this man married this goddaughter, which is bad in of itself, because I feel like you waited until she was 18. Like, you was probably messing with her when she was younger. That's obvious. But when you then add the piece about the mom and just the whole cycle of dysfunction, and this girl has a baby, which probably is his, but who knows, because I don't know. But just the whole cycle of dysfunction is sad. Dysfunctional families, it's a sickness. Like, this is why you should have to have therapy before you have a child. Like, when you're pregnant, you should have to have therapy. That's my beef. That's my beef. It's horrible.
Oh, Biden. Jesus Christ.
I should make a banner to say, Biden for president 2024.
Biden.
Can Obama run for president again?
No.
Oh.
He already did 8 years. This is a situation that might affect us.
Excuse me.
New IRS to crack down on businesses using Cash App for payment. A 1099 is going to be sent for PayPal, Venmo, and Zelle for anything over $600. So under the current guidelines, a 1099 is generated for payments totaling $20,000 or 200 transactions. The threshold will be reduced significantly in 2022. Only businesses, not personal. So if you Cash App someone for rent, it can be subject to tax, or a dinner over $600.
Wait, you said only businesses, not personal.
Right now, it's only
but
businesses.
They're moving it to personal.
Yeah, because if you Cash App somebody for a dinner over $600 or rent that may be $1,000 or $1,500, it's subject to tax now, or will be in 2022.
So this is one thing that people don't realize. Cash App is a bank.
And not only that, like, now you can do 200 transactions and $20,000, but they're talking about dropping the 200 transactions to 60. Like,
Well,
they're shrinking the shit out of it to stop people from not paying taxes with these PayPal, Venmo, and Zelle, and Cash App.
Because you have money that's being transferred that's not being regulated by the government. You have people who are accepting Cash Apps. This is the thing. If you, let's say, and I'm just using this as an example. Let's say you're a business and I'll use hair salons because I'm not, book an appointment to get my hair braided. This is what's required. So let's say it's $200 and they want a $40 deposit, and usually they'll say Cash App it. And then when you come, you can pay with cash or you pay with your card or whatever, so you'll pay the balance of $160. Now, if they are legitimately handling their books properly with, an accountant and reporting their income, then they can report $160 and not the $40, because that $40, once you have a credit card, then it's documentation and all of that kind of stuff. There's a receipt for it.
So wouldn't they report the $40 and not the $160? If you use the $40 on the credit card to hold a spot, then that's documented.
No, I said if you do the $40 Cash App.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So I mean, to your point, it could be any amount, but you're decreasing your tax liability, because now instead of, paying taxes on $200, you're paying taxes, or they may.
Well, say a person like me who might use a credit card to hold a spot, like say on Style Seat, to hold a spot, and then when I get there, I may pay cash. So if you hold a spot for $40, then that's documented on the card. But when you get there, you pay cash. That person don't necessarily have to say,
no,
I got $160 in cash. I did the hair for $40.
Right. So yeah, exactly. That is the documented evidence of how much she was paid based on that transaction. Now, if you paid the rest on a card, then everything is documented. So that's a different example. But a good example is kind of the reverse, where she gets to claim even a smaller portion than the 160. So I think that's the reason why. And what people don't realize, I'm not going to say don't realize, maybe not. Cash App is a bank, and it's foolish when people have these huge amounts of money in Cash App, because guess what? You're not making any interest on it. Withdraw your money, have it sent to your real bank that hopefully you are making interest on. When you let the money sit there and let the money accumulate, that's just benefiting the people who own Cash App. That's why it has a routing number and an account number, and that's why you can get direct deposit there and you can get a Cash App card, because it is a bank. They just promote it to you. It's just like if you have TD Bank, and TD Bank has an app. Well, Cash App, I don't know the bank's name because I never looked into it that deep because I don't use it in that capacity, but it's a bank. And they have to make sure that they have to regulate funds too. Yeah. So when they see all these transactions coming through, they're gonna get in trouble. Like, oh, you had this person, ABC Salon, who they're constantly having money cycle through this account. What's this money for? Are there any records? Is this a business? Are they filing taxes? What's going on? So it's because of people always trying to do shady stuff with things that's why they implement. It's going to make people have to operate legitimately. You're not going to be able to have all these businesses just collecting Cash Apps. When we went to the thing and we had them damn platters that was $60, not a piece, but together, and they was taking the money by Cash App. You do that all night long. You made all this money on Cash App. It ain't being reported to nobody. You just withdraw it, and it is what it is. Or
Cash
you just
App take their little portion.
Or you don't even withdraw it. I don't know how the Cash App card works. So if you have a Cash App card, is there a fee to use that as a debit card?
I have $20 stuck in Cash App that you sent me back, and I don't know how to get it. Remember when I asked you that? Because we was at work asking our wives, like, what kind of wife you got, and would they send you money on the spot if you asked. And we all asked our wives for $20 and said we didn't have lunch. And she sent it, boom. And a couple of my other friends, they got their money, and I didn't know how to get it out. I still don't. It's been in there since that was like a year ago.
Yes, that was so long ago. You got to transfer it to your bank.
I don't know how to do that. Every time I look in there and say, you got $20 in the Cash App bank. You're like, well, I just got $20 when I need it. 3 grams. Subway worker got arrested for putting out the pails of food and walking in it at night when he was closing the store, and taking all the lunch meat out and putting it on the toilet seat and then putting it back.
He should. He should be arrested. He should. Why?
You addressed that shit immediately.
I'm
He
serious.
was like, this listener, he should. It's like, there's a video of him taking the pills out, putting them on the counter, and then walking his feet in each pill on top of the meat. And then he would take the meat out and lay it across the toilet seat and then put it all back.
Yeah, he absolutely should. You don't mess with people's food. That's disgusting.
Don't eat at Subway.
Not only, well, that too. Subway's not even good, but you don't mess with people's food. That is disgusting. First of all, you're potentially harming people. Let's just, if we really want to push it, because we know the cops will juice some stuff up, I'm going to say that's attempted murder.
Oh, no. You're not
That's
getting
attempted
that. No,
murder.
No,
you can get somebody some deadly disease off the bottom of your shoe.
Not attempted murder. Oh, my God.
It's attempted
Who the
murder.
fuck are you?
It's disgusting.
Who are you to
But
attempted
not only
murder?
that, you know why else he should be arrested? Not saying that he should have got away with this.
He said he did it for clout. That's why he recorded
Who
it.
the F do you think you are that you can record something like that and you think you're above the law? You're not going to get in trouble.
I saw
You
it
big
on a-
dumb dummy.
I saw it on a Friday. I was like, he want to get fired.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday it was like, Subway man fired.
You
Like,
big
what?
dumb dummy. Yeah.
Oh my God. Ben Simmons. Fuck Ben Simmons. Fuck Ben Simmons.
And you gotta school me on this, because I don't know. I heard he didn't want to come back to the Sixers. He wasn't coming, and then he did come back. Now
Ben Simmons can't shoot, and he don't want to shoot. And
what's his current status?
He can't shoot, and he don't want to shoot.
Is he a Sixer?
He's a Sixer because he's under contract, but he didn't come in for his workout, so they withheld $8 million. They put it in the escrow. Once they did that, he wanted to come in. So they was about to play their first game. He showed up in the middle of the night at the Wells Fargo Center. His key card didn't work, so they had to let him in. So when they let him in, he went to practice with a cell phone in his pocket, didn't huddle with the team at the end of practice. Doc Rivers asked him to come in and practice for 3 plays. He told him no, and then they suspended him. He said he never wants to play in front of the Philadelphia fans again. He never wants to see them again.
Oh, wham, poor Ben Simmons.
Marsha, my pussy hurts.
You know what? And correct me if I'm wrong. I know he's from Australia. He wasn't
$34 million a year.
But he was from a well-to-do family, right? Not saying they were rich. And it's
affluent.
An affluent family. It's a difference when you have these young men who come from the hood, and not saying you're only good when you're from the hood, but you have a different mentality, a different hustle, and not saying those who haven't come from hard times don't have hustle
to get there.
But yeah, you have more of a, because you got people counting on you. Not saying that's how it should be, but that's how it is. You have people counting on you, and you're not just snobbing your nose. Is that how you do it? Snobbing your nose.
I've never snobbed, but I would assume so.
Yeah, you're not just snobbing your nose at $8 million, $34 million. Numbers that most Americans, and I think I'm right to say that, will never see in their lifetime. Like, so the fact that it's just disrespectful. First of all, he knows, and for y'all sports fans, I don't care what y'all think, I think it's absolutely insane that we have teachers who literally have to work 3 jobs.
We're on the same page
to maintain their living standard.
People who play games, sports stars make that much money.
Who make that kind of money.
Yes.
So let's just say that it's so disrespectful to people out here who would never see that kind of money. And when Philly's so mean, they threw snowballs at Santa Claus. I don't want to play there. Go back to Australia. Go play for the Australian teams. Go jump with the Kangaroos.
That's not the NBA, but screw Ben Simmons. Damn, Delonte West was arrested in Florida. Fucked up again. I know he was in Dallas getting help with
Mark Cuban.
But I don't know what happened.
I don't either. And I saw that and it made me sad. It really made me sad because obviously there's some mental health issues.
Clearly.
When the story was announced about him, Mark Cuban linking up with him and getting him help. But this is just evidence that and this is not a pun intended. You can lead a horse to water, and I say that because he was on a horse. You like that, right? Mm-hmm. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink. And people will not get well
unless they want to get well.
That just hit a soft place to me. But people will not get well until they want to. You can want it for them all you want. You can know that it's absolutely the best thing for them. But people will not get well until they want to do it for themselves.
And through getting well, you have to do it through professional help. Like, you need professionals who do this stuff every day, especially to diagnose your problem and to fix it. So that you may not have a life of this, a life of pain and mental illness. So to see him or anybody get help, and then, you know, I don't know if he stopped or whatever, but just to see him arrested again, it's like fucked up.
But the crazy thing is,
if you need therapy, be in therapy. Like, stay in therapy. It's helpful. It helps you. It's how you cope and maneuver. So just...
But I think it was far beyond, like, you know, our bi-weekly appointments in therapy. I think he requires, like, inpatient or at least intensive outpatient therapy.
He was an NBA player that had a $25 million contract and ended up homeless for years.
But you know the crazy thing? Did you hear where he got arrested?
In Florida.
But where?
No.
At the police station. He was at the police station banging on their windows. With alcohol. He was drunk. They came out, told him to put it down. They tased him. You know, the ball rolled. But he was at the police station like, rah, rah, rah. I don't know if he was really doing that, but he was banging on the windows at the police station.
Yeah, that's a person that, you know, you need like medication.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Intensive outpatient therapy where you're in therapy for 6 hours a day. Yeah. Or where you are inpatient at a facility because, unfortunately, you don't yet have the mental capacity to operate independently in the world.
But you need medicine in your body flowing through for a period of time.
For some sense of normalcy.
Yeah, for some sense of normalcy. Which is a shame because, you know, shouts out to Delonte West. That's it. A2TP podcast, episode 41, coming to a close. Again, check us out on YouTube. Check us out on the Gram. Check us out on Breaker. Check us out on Google Podcasts.
And can I ask a favor? So, as he said, all those platforms we're going to be on.
Wasn't finished.
Go ahead. I apologize.
Okay. Check us out on all those things. We appreciate you liking. We appreciate you sharing. We appreciate the comments. International Walt loves y'all. Co-host is with the most, loves y'all. Keep fucking with us.
Go to Spotify, search for A2 with a colon, the podcast. The same way you see the name presented on Instagram, go to Spotify and search it. And guess what? It may not come up yet. Keep searching and keep searching and keep searching and keep searching. Put us in the mix. But you will be able to go to the website, and when you click the Spotify link, it will take you there. But if you have the Spotify app or any of the other apps that he mentioned,
we're building ourselves into the algorithm. Yes. So all we got to do is search and fuck with us.
So y'all be our plug.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck with us. If you fuck with us, you know, get us in the algorithm. You know, and we might watch our own shit. So we'll search for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, appreciate it. If you fuck with us, you fuck with us. If you don't, you should. Peace.